the specific case of PDVSA. José Vicente Igón is going to make this presentation. José Vicente, known as Chevy, thank you for your attendance. We are going to speak about the business model based on IDE paradigm for large organizations and specifically the PDVSA organization. So I'll start now. These are the different subjects. We are going to do an introduction, then objectives, the business model, and the methodologies and tools to be used in its implementation. We'll see change process, management of knowledge, and finally some conclusions. There is a project which is called IDEX. This is the infrastructure of spatial data for exploration in PDVSA. When we speak about spatial data infrastructure, and we'll see the information about some resources.
La organización, y en esa organización tendremos esos procesos, esas políticas, esas actividades, esas personas, y esta presentación va exactamente de esa parte de los sistemas de información que a veces dejamos de lado.
This is a very important factor when we have to implement data in a large organization. Regarding PDVSA, I'm going to speak about this. This is the state oil company in Venezuela. It has more than 100,000 employees, and from this IDEX project is born in the geodesy exploration management. And here we are speaking about surface and underfloor data, satellite images, seismic information, cartography. We are speaking about terabytes. Environment, oil infrastructure, administrative areas. There are different branches in this organization, and the project is born in the exploration management. That means that they do not really are speaking about oil, but about the obtention and generation of opportunities or looking for the possible sites where you can find hydrocarbons. This is a part of the organization where the value is the knowledge. We are not going to speak about drills or perforation. We are going to speak about seismic information, satellite images, surface geology, seismic information in order to know how is the floor. And we are going to focus on the objectives. Excuse me, because I catch a cold. The main objective is reducing the time in the exploration cycle. As I mentioned, what is done in exploration is trying to know the underground in order to be able to extract oil. This has a cycle, especially when we define the area to be explored. Then we carry out the seismic projects and everything in order to know what is a floor, in order to find out which is going to be the exploration. So then there is a floor. There is, the ground, and when oil is found, this is finished. One of the aims is reducing the time spent in exploration cycle. This is a huge company, and there is a large variety of managements which are all over the country. Everything is highly heterogeneous, and we have interoperability problems. That's why we think in creating a structure of geospatial data in order to interconnect the different bodies that belong to PDVSA in order to centralize that information. First of all, we have to centralize the information in a geospatial database. We are going to model and make it accessible through nodes of different infrastructures. The information is highly heterogeneous, and we can have different cases, such as that you buy a satellite image, and in the other side of the country they do not know that this image has been bought, and they buy it again. So we have to connect the different nodes in order to avoid these redundancies and be more efficient within the organization. Another objective is to transfer the knowledge to the employees of the company. We have to convey the message to the employees, and they should know how to create this infrastructure of spatial data. Another objective, which is very important, and this is the reason why we are here, is the use of open technologies, and this is fulfilling the requirements of the decree that exists in Venezuela about this. Which is the objective? Creating a business model based on the IDE paradigm that guarantees the success of the project. The idea is to be more efficient and more solidary. When we speak about higher solidarity, which is the problem that could exist because this is a large company where sometimes the concept is that the information is power, but that goes against the vision, mission, and values of the company in this case, and finally that makes the company less efficient. So we have to create this business model that make us more efficient, and that allows us to share the information. That leads to the definition and application of strategies and activities, allowing the incorporation and integration of the IDEX project in the organization, and establishing the projects and IDEX in order to optimize their value proposal is going to use new concepts, methodologies, and tools. It is highly typical to focus on this area, which is design, implementation, and operation of spatial data. And we have to manage the projects, creating the different processes, how the people should work with those applications. But here, a paradigm, an access paradigm, an information access paradigm is being changed. So then other factors have to be taken into account, such as the business model generation, change process management, knowledge management, and models for collaborative companies or corporations. And we will speak about all of them. We're going to start with the business model. A business model is describing the basis on which the organization creates, provides, and captures value. The business model is the draft of a strategy which will be applied in the structures, processes, and systems of a company. In this case, this is an internal community within an organization, but look at the importance of this definition, where we are speaking about creating, capturing, and producing value, because it captures value from data producers, creates value, and provides value to the different users. That means that we have to use methodologies for the development of this and conceptualize a strategy that can solve the problems which are involved in the creation of these kind of models, and the creation of these kind of systems. For the design of the business model, the a technique has been created, which is the one of the canvas, created by Osterwalder and Pineur, and we will have some big key activities which through some key alliances are going to create the value which is going to be provided to the final users. For that, we'll need means and relationship with the customers. Here we have some costs, and here this is a basic model, a canvas-based model, and here we would have a result similar to this, where as a value proposal we would have an information management, a service for the provision of information management, geospatial, easy access, quick search, standardized, updated, high quality, quick service, safe, low cost, and the own organization should accept that the project and be empowered. And we have different actors at PDVSA. With the size of such an organization, you can easily imagine that we have many of them. Regarding key activity, we have application procedures, data obtention, data certification, data updating, training, and platform management. The key resources are training of staff, hardware, data, network, IDX platform. The interrelation with the customers, we want to have a self-service service for staff with this collaborative structure that we want to create. We will see that it is especially important that there is a community and they interact with each other and share this value proposal, and they can do their work. And we have different channels, which is based in an intranet, because we are speaking about new technologies. We have users that make decisions as managers, users that analyze the information, users that create information, and other external users, internal and external users, which is the cost structure, hardware, network, training, and data obtention, which are the sources of income. Free service, and we are analyzing whether the service provision should be free, whether there should be an exchange, that means service with data. If I contribute with information, these are things which are being studied, but from our view, this is always going to be a limitation that depends on the network. This doesn't mean that some information should be confidential, and the system should be able to meet that challenge. After having this design of business model, then we should take into account this kind of entities that we will have in the corporation, such as the management. We should know which are the strategic objectives and how are they going to have an impact in the business model. We will have to organize a strategy and an infrastructure of data. Whenever you create an infrastructure, you need a body that manages that structure, that takes care of the maintenance of creating new nodes of spatial information, saying that which is the information that should be provided by each one. So you need an organizational structure regarding the processes. Which information or processes would you need in that business model? And from the staff side, which is the type of people, which type of mentality, and which type of reward in order to be able to implement that model. Here we have the different tools which have been used to define this. We have the key actors, the key stakeholders map, and if we place them in this square, here we have from those which have a negative perception of the project to those which have a positive perception, and here those which have a capacity to have an impact on the project, and those which do not have any capacity or influence. We should try to do the things in such a way that those who have a negative perception, they do not have much capacity or influence, and those which have a positive perception, they have more capacity of influence. This is the business model, the empathy map carried out by through a journal. We have meetings among the engineers, and then they should. The analyst always wants the information to be available, that has a great expectation about the ideas. He wants to have high quality information, and whenever they go to a seismic line and this has some specific parameters, they don't want to have doubts that this is right, because this is going to have an impact in his or her decision making. And in this case, we are still working in the project, and we have not yet published this for the whole corporation. So the analyst compiles information, is saving the buying of licenses, the purchase of licenses, and he hears that the IDEX is an interesting, useful, and promising project. Who is he or she? Is a young engineer or geographer, and is working or joined PDVSA recently, just a few years of experience in PDVSA, and doubts about the quality of data, updating and origin. Yeah, I know, 5 minutes. Besides the business, we should use methodologies and tools. This change in the paradigm, the implementation of ideas requires a change process, and the rate of failure is 70% in large companies. When we speak about change process, we have to make the information accessible, and we have to look for the best structure in the organization, and this will be the collaborative company. I think it involves a change in our way of working, so we will need a strategy that ensures the change. We have commitment with the leadership. We have to communicate the need for change, a shared vision, participation of the staff, integrated changes and measurements that tell us whether we are following the right path. The knowledge should be materialized. We should handle, store, transfer, recover, and use without having to resort to the person that was the origin of that knowledge. Then we have different tools like Redmine. The database is centralized. We have internal information. And finally, which is the company structure which is proposed in the implementation of this project. This is a concept which is the collaborative model. It's a way of working, focusing on knowledge that is especially good for the exploration projects, takes advantage of the creativeness of the worker. The knowledge is highly flexible, but also highly manageable, and they are organized around a shared aim by means of procedures created in cooperation and carefully documented. The idea is to have a higher management form. The addition is higher than each one of the parties, creating synergies, shared proposal, ethic of the contribution, interdependent processes, structure. And as conclusions, IDIX is a system that involves relevant changes in our way of working in geospatial information. IDIX, for its successful implementation, will need to know and incorporate new and modern concepts and methodologies, as well as management tools. And IDIX should be adaptable to future changes and sustainable along the time. And on the other hand, with the replication of IDIX in other areas of the organization, our company is evolving and tries to become a 21st century company. Here you have the authors, people from PDVSA, the superintendent and the manager. And thank you very much for your attention.
Gracias.